Hello guys, it's me Lunar, welcome back to another Apex update video. Today a new update released bringing with it the legendary hunt challenges amongst other stuff, including the elite queuing system and of course a bunch of new rewards. There are also other changes in game as this is also a regular update, so we do have a bunch of quality of life fixes and bug fixes to go over as well, all of which I'll be looking at in the video. If you find it useful, a like, as always, is very much appreciated. Apex is finally turning things around in June, kicking off with a 2-weekly event called the Legendary Hunt Challenges. Challenges which you can use to complete in-game to earn new rare, epic, and legendary skins. Hopefully now, going forward, we will see a set of new challenges with rewards added at least once a month, so it gives us something more to do in-game along with the Battle Pass, so we see a bit more regular content. So here are the details, starting with the Apex Elite queue. So from June the 4th till July 2nd, if you make it into the top 5 in any match, you can earn a place in the Elite queue where you can take on other top 5 winners from previous games. The queue is optional and you can choose to play in the regular playstyle at any time. However, there are some differences to this game mode if you decide to play it. The ring closes faster and damage for a bounce has been increased, so that raises the difficulty, but you can earn character specific badges that attract elite game wins, and there are also a couple of challenge rewards that require you to play the elite queue, which I will talk about. So for the Legendary Hunt challenge rewards, these will run from June the 4th, which is today, until June the 18th. So you complete special in-game challenges to score free Legendary Hunt loot. Keep in mind, the rewards are event exclusive, so once the event is over, you can no longer get them. And here's what you have to do in order to get these new exclusive cosmetics. To get the Legendary Hunt badge, you have to finish the top 5 in any match. What the badge does is it tracks your top 5 streak in the elite queue, so you can show other players how long your longest streak is for being in the elite queue, so it's a pretty good one to get. The rare Wolfpack G7 Scout weapon skin, you have to finish in the top 5 in the Apex Elite match in order to get that, so you do have to play the Apex Elite match if you want to get that skin. Epic Master of the Hunt Bloodhound Legend skin, you have to finish in the top 5 in any queue 5 times. It doesn't have to be consecutive, it just has to be 5 times overall within the time period. Legendary Tame Beast Triple Take weapon skin, win twice in any queue. Again, it doesn't have to be consecutive, it can be anytime within the time period for the event. There's also 2 additional legendary skins for all Battle Pass owners. Players who have got the Wild Frontier Battle Pass will automatically get the legendary Honored Wraith R301 skin, and I have to admit, it looks really cool. Players who reach Battle Pass level 15 before the end of the event will get the Wraith Night Terror legendary skin, and again, that one does look really awesome. There are of course some other skins as well which are in the store, and these items will shuffle every 3 or 4 days, and again, they are event limited, so you have to check back while the event is going on in order to pick these up. A couple of final things to go over: the Battle Pass bonus XP and double XP weekend. From June the 4th to June the 18th, you can earn an entire Battle Pass level when you finish in the top 5 in any match, and you can do that once per day. And on Friday, June the 7th at 10 AM Pacific time until Monday, June the 10th, score double XP and double Battle Pass XP all weekend, excluding the Battle Pass bonus XP that you get once per day, which I mentioned a second ago. And that is of course to celebrate EA Play, where we will learn about the Season 2 Battle Pass. We don't know much about Season 2 yet. We do have a couple of things that we do know from the devs so far, mostly regarding the kind of rewards we'll be getting in Season 2, which will be improved. We'll get a lot more legendary items, a lot more crafting metals for legendary items. It's going to be easier to reach level 100 in the Battle Pass. We're going to start having daily and weekly challenges to complete as well. But I will go over all of that in a lot more detail once we have the info from EA Play on June the 8th, when Season 2 is announced. Okay guys, on to the actual bug fixes and other changes applied in this update, starting with King Canyon changes. The Thunderdome has had a small change to loot placement, mostly around moving loose loot into bins for more visibility on where the loot is. The pit has had 2 times the loot in it now. That's a decent change because the pit's quite a fun place to drop, I think. Repulsor has the loot bins added to the west side of the area on top of the trapezoid buildings. Some loot has been added to the underground pit in the small town in Shard Forest, and added voice over lines that will call it jump towers. When you ping them, you can now ping the jump towers in the game. So the King Canyon changes are mostly all to do with loot balancing. That just leaves us with a whole bunch of quality of life changes, so I'm going to go over them as quickly as I can. Decrease the delay with items showing up in the menu when looting a death box. Minimap directions will now display correctly while in the ship or skydiving. Improved server performance for some cases of rubber banding. Removed an exploit that allowed a squad to have more than one of the same legend. Removed the bunny hop while healing exploit. Fixed issues where players might bounce off your squad when breaking off during a skydive. Improved skydiving so it should feel more responsive and smooth. Thermite grenades can now cause damage to doors, that's a good thing. Squad summary page has been improved, so cursor support's been added. Players can now mute and report other players from the page, and players can now report teammates that have disconnected. Caustic battles can now be triggered to disabled by friendly teammates. On the Xbox and PlayStation 4 only, they've added the ability to fully customize button layout for controllers, and that's a really big change. Added a cooldown of 0.5 seconds before you can reuse the last zipline you were on. Pathfinder's grapple now has a blue crosshair indicator that will appear when the grapple is in the range of an object it can connect to. When grappling a zipline, the trajectory will now pull the player to a point below the zipline rather than above, and this makes it so players are more likely to connect with the zipline instead of flying over it. Made improvements to how weapon reticules and optics are displayed when playing with colorblind settings, and also added a colorblind support for threat vision scopes on Bloodhound's Ultimate. Removed the ability for players to change game settings not intended to be modified on a client level. Hopefully that will remove some of the exploits that are currently plaguing the game, like being able to remove muzzle flash, for example. They've reverted the behavior of holster weapons, so pressing that button while your melee weapon is out will no longer bring out your last primary weapon. Added localized voices for all legends to 8 different countries. Fixed an issue where a player is unable to change their party privacy option. Fixed the extra sway from the G7 crosshair while moving. A bug where Cloak Mirage was too noticeable. An issue with using consumables while having a caustic gas canister out. An issue where shield cells and shield batteries would sometimes appear to be permanently stuck to the player. Improved frame rate when sun shadow coverage is set to high in video options. Fixed issues with the long distance kill badge not displaying the correct maximum distance. Fixed issues with bad frame rate when using Bloodhound's Ultimate. That's a good one for me because personally when I use his ultimate my game freezes, so I can't use him to his full effect. Fixed players being crushed by opening or closing doors when climbing onto a roof. Fixed a crash related to model code. Issues where players would crawl very fast in place. Players getting stuck in geometry. Octane stim rail would linger after death. Melee lunges could stop too far from their intended target. Players not receiving any XP for anything after a match, and the champion bonus showing as -1 XP. Audio and visual effects would not play when a weapon fires, and lots of minor bug fixes have all been applied. Guys, our very first in-game event is live right now, and with it some cool new rewards to earn, all of which can only be acquired in the next 2 weeks. So you better get playing. I'm sure though we will have a chance to pick all that stuff up in the future, but for now you can only get it within the next 2 weeks. The new Elite system is available as well, so I'm interested to know what you guys think of it. I'm personally looking forward to playing it, as I play a lot with randoms, so most of the time they're low level with no kills, and I'm hoping this gives me some better teams, but also provides a bit more of a challenge in game. Season 2 info is out in 4 days time. I'm actually in Paris on June the 8th, and I arrive back just 1 hour before the EA event goes live, so hopefully if I have no problems getting back on time, I will have a vid up within the hour for Season 2, detailing all the info we have for that. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with Apex and PUBG, plus a bunch of other stuff I'll be covering going into E3 and later this year. Turn notifications to see vids as soon as they release. Anyway guys, have an awesome day, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.